All right, guys, so the car is coming along quite nicely. Obviously, we got a bunch of stuff done to it already. Carbon fiber, forged light wheels, all kinds of good things going on in the car. But there's one thing that you can never overlook, and a lot of people do, and that is protection. So obviously we got some Expel paint protection film on here, ceramic coating, all that stuff, and that's adding protection, but we need protection for the radiators, and you guys know where this is going. Scrape armor, radiator grill guards, we are going to be installing them on the front and in the side scoops as well. Those things need to be protected. Rocks will absolutely destroy these things without them. So obviously, you know, I have a good relationship with Scott over at Scrape Armor, and their products are hands down the best way to protect your car. So let's do it. So here's the front driver's side radiator after about 1,200 miles. You can see there's a bunch of bugs in there, a couple dings, and yeah, this is going to just consistently get worse and worse and worse. So unfortunately, you have to remove the bumper to get these installed. So we are going to pull the front bumper off, but if we didn't, this area would just end up being completely destroyed to the point where you could possibly puncture that radiator and actually have it leak. These things are more than just for cosmetic purposes. They keep things out of there, and believe it or not, I've literally seen a bird get stuck in there. These things are big enough that creatures of all sizes basically can fit in there, and they'll end up getting stuck in there. Let's just eliminate that problem completely. Scrape Armor Radiator Grill Guards closes these openings up quite a bit where the smallest bugs might fit through, but that's pretty much it. So anyway, like I said, we do have to remove the front bumper. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to put the car up on the quick jacks and start into this process. So first things first, we're going to remove 6 T15 screws off the front bumper, and then we're going to get this car up in the air on the quick jacks. After it's in the air, we're going to go ahead and remove the front bumper, which is a bunch of T15 screws and some 7mm screws on the bottom, but ultimately the bumper will just pull right off. After the bumper is off, we'll put it on something soft, and then we'll start installation. The first step is some alcohol prep pads. Go through and wipe down every area of the backside of the grill that's going to get a bracket stuck to it. We want these things to be as clean as possible for the best adhesion. After that, we'll go through with some automotive adhesion promoter, which is going to make these things stick even better. Then we're going to start with the actual brackets for the center grill area on the Z06. So the first one here, you can see it actually has an arrow pointing to the right. That means it's actually pointing to the center of the vehicle. That's going to be the one that goes on the left side of the bottom side of the grill. So it will actually fit into a little indent, and then we'll just press it down and make sure it's fully stuck. The second one is going to again have an arrow to the left this time, pointing again to the center. And we're going to do the same thing with it. There's a little slot where these actually fit into first, and then you stick it up against the bottom side of the grill. Next up is the side bracket, and this arrow in this case is actually going to be pointing down, and that little bend in the bracket is going to sit right up against a part on the back side of the front bumper that will literally allow it to fall right into place. The right side, of course, is going to be the same thing. It's going to have an arrow pointing down to let you know which side goes where. And once we put that against that part in the back side, again, it's going to fall right into place, and then we're just going to press it down and let it adhere. Next up is the top bracket. You can see there's a couple different bends, but ultimately that same arrow pointing towards the center. This little bracket part right there is actually going to sit into a little crevice on the top part to allow you to purposely and perfectly place it right where it needs to go. Next is the next bracket, and again, that arrow pointing towards the center and that bent part in the bracket to allow it to fit perfectly where it needs to be. You're going to hear me say this a lot in this video. It is really hard to mess this installation up. Scrape Armor has really done a good job of bending those brackets in a way that will only fit where they need to go. Then we're going to grab the center mesh grill part and just pop it down into place. This is going to be a semi-tight fit between the brackets we just put in. That's on purpose. Now, after we get it lined up and in position, we're going to go ahead and grab the push clips that actually hold this whole thing in place. Then we're going to go ahead and just start popping these in. There's going to be 5 of them for the front grille. And after we get the 2 bottoms and the 2 side pieces in, the top parts are where you're going to want to pay attention, because these actually do not go in the way you would think they do. They do not go in from the bottom and poke through the top. You actually put them from the top down through the bottom. If you watch what I do right here, that's wrong. Going in from the bottom and clipping it in like that, that's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to go from the top and clip it down so the pointy part of that clip is actually sticking down through. Next up, we have the brackets for the 2 outboard radiator areas. And again, we're going to start with the passenger side, or the right side on the camera here. Here is the first bracket we're going to start with. And you can see a bunch of different notches in it, as well as an arrow, again, pointing to the center to let you know you got the right side. Those notches are going to fit right in around other notches that are cut into the backside of that grill area, and that slot that I'm pointing at as well will slide right into the area right underneath that grill to make sure you cannot install this incorrectly. Next is the top bracket for the passenger side air intake area, again with an arrow pointing to the center to make sure you grab the right one, and the little notch cut out right there that's going to fit right around a notch on that part as well, to again make sure you're not installing it incorrectly. They really did a good job with this kit to make it so you can't really mess this up. Next is the actual grill mesh itself, and you'll notice on the side of it there is a notched out area that will go around a part of that actual grill, and a little pin, locator pin at the top that will fit right into a piece of the front bumper that connects to that grill. So if you put both of those things in place, the grill will drop right down. And then next we're going to go ahead and use 5 of those push clips to again clip right into those brackets we just taped on. And just like that, the front bumper is done. I've told you guys before, the Scrape Armor kit really is something else. Once you put the adhesion promoter on and start putting these brackets in place, you'll realize you really can't put them in the wrong location. And then of course, all of them are held in with these snap clips here, so if you ever needed to remove them for any reason, they pop out pretty easily. It's a beautiful kit. It really is. It's a shame the bumper has to come off for this, because if the bumper didn't have to come off, this installation is 10 minutes at most. But of course, the bumper coming off is where the significant work's at. Next up, you're gonna see me cleaning out the front radiator area. So I'm actually spraying some detail spray in there, cleaning out the bottom side, as well as vacuuming out all the leaves, anything that was in there that I don't want in there, because ultimately we want to keep these areas clean and free of rocks and everything to look good and also function as good as it possibly can. Then we're going to go ahead and put the bumper cover back on, because we're done with the Scrape Armor grill guard install. So obviously front bumper reinstallation is the opposite of removal. Next up on the list of things to do, we're going to go ahead and install the side intake Scrape Armor grill guards as well. You can see there's already a bracket installed. That was from TJ over at RSC to make sure that they worked with the carbon fiber air intake trim. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and use the included automatic prep pad and literally wipe down the interior area here to make sure that there's no grease, dirt, dust, anything that would stop this from adhering properly. Once we're done wiping this area down, we're going to go ahead and put that prep pad back into the included envelope there, because we're going to use that on the other side as well. We don't want it to dry out. After that's all done, we'll go ahead and wipe it down with a clean microfiber towel to make sure it is fully dry for the next step. Then we're going to use the Scrape Armor included locating tab here. You can see I slide this down the door jamb and you'll see it kind of like fits right into place. And where it fits in those bends is where we're going to ultimately install it. And by install, I mean we're going to stick some temporary adhesive pads on there, these little clear circles, to allow this to be stuck in place for the locating cardboard cutout. Again, I'll go ahead and slide it into place. Once I feel it notch in, we'll go ahead and stick down those clear tabs. Once those are stuck down, we're going to go ahead and grab the cardboard locator, and that will actually clip onto that with these two little oval circles, and right there onto the locating tab itself. Once you know where it goes, we'll go ahead and remove the protective layer off the adhesive squares on the back so we can go ahead and stick this thing in place. This is going to allow us to put the bracket where it needs to go. Then we're going to clip these right into those little tabs I told you about earlier. Once those are fully seated, we'll go ahead and stick down the little sticky squares that we just removed the protective layer from. And you'll want to take your fingers and kind of stick it down on the top first and then run them back towards the intake to make sure all of them are fully seated and stuck down. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and grab the actual bracket, which you can see here with the tabs at the top that actually kind of latch over the plastic on the inside of the intake there. So once you hook those on the top, you'll then pull the bracket towards the front of the car until it's seated right up against that cardboard locator. Once it's right there and you're good with the fitment, we'll go ahead and remove the protective layer off of the back of the bracket as well, exposing some double-sided tape, of course, and then we'll go ahead and clip it back on the top part of the plastic in the back and seat it right up against the back side of that cardboard locator again to make sure you are getting an absolute perfect fitment. Once that bracket's on, you can grab the locator pieces and pretty much just pull them right off the car. Those are now trash. You can throw them away or use them in future installs if you'd like. Either way, you don't need them for this install any longer. After that, we're going to go ahead and grab what everybody calls the potato chip, and it is basically just a finishing piece at the bottom that is textured just like the OEM part, but this is a little bit longer to grab the bottom part of the actual grill. We also have some adhesion promoter because this does double-side tape on in the back, so we'll crack that and place the adhesion promoter all in this area here I'm pointing at to make sure that that thing sticks as good as it possibly can. After that, we'll go ahead and stick the trim piece down, clips in the front with two pads of double-sided tape in the rear that's going to work on that adhesion promoter. Once that's in place, we'll go ahead and grab the grill itself and the included tool that allows you to hold that grill. Because of how tight it fits in the back, you need to be able to have some leverage on it. So we'll use this to go ahead and slide it right in and right in front of those brackets, and then down at the bottom you'll see where it needs to go into the top of that trim piece we just installed. I usually use a pair of pliers to help me kind of push it down into that plastic trim piece to make sure it's seated in there first. Then we'll start installing the clips, and they are a little bit smaller than the front clips, but install the same. You pop them in and you are good to go. And just like that, guys, we got the driver's side grill guard done. We'll do the same thing on the passenger side, but it's ultimately the same on both sides. So more of the same. I'm not really going to show it again, but this car is now fully protected.
5 minutes later.
So we have installed all of the scrape armor grill guards, like I said, driver's side, air intake, and then of course the front, center, all of them. They're all done. So this car is fully protected. Like I said, we do have, of course, the Expel paint protection film, ceramic coating, the ACS XL rock guards, and now the scrape armor grill guards, which are really just going to protect those radiators and keep rocks from beating this thing up. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the scrape armor radiator grills and the scrape armor products in general. Big thumbs up to them as always. They really hooked up the channel, and of course, best product out there to protect your radiators. If you want to learn more, click on the link in the description down below. I will link everything we did down there for you to go check out yourself. But that's it, guys. So thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and as always, stay obsessed.